Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my second Halloween look of the year. I decided to do a demon. I asked you guys on Instagram if you'd rather see a skull or a demon, and the majority of you voted demon, so that's what I'm going to do today. Since I'm doing a voiceover, I can't ramble on too long, so if you'd like to see me do this demon makeup, then just keep on watching. First, I'm going to go in with this white mehron color cup. This is just a cream makeup. And I'm going to apply it using this Michael Todd Beauty Sonic Blend foundation brush. It vibrates really intensely and helps just make your foundation look smoother. This white cream paint is kind of hard to work with. You need to warm it up. So maybe use a beauty oil or something. That's what I did to help loosen it and make it a little more liquidy. I'm also applying that to my neck and chest as well. Then I'm going to go in with Manic Panic Dream Tone foundation, and I'm just layering this over top with my sponge just to add a little bit more dimension and texture. I'm avoiding doing it around my eye area just so my eyes already look a bit sunken in from my natural discoloration in bags. Then I'm going to take this wedge sponge that I have pulled out little pieces from the end to make it lumpy and textured. And I'm taking that with this inglot eyeshadow. I'm not sure of the shade, so I will link it down below. And I'm just dabbing this all over my face, neck, and body to kind of make it look like veins and more texture and discoloration. I'm trying to make this just look sickly and dirty and, demon-like. I'm going in with more and less at times to do spots darker and spots lighter. Blending over with my sponge to make everything appear a bit more under the skin. Then I'm taking that same inklot shade and I'm going to use that to carve out my cheeks. I'm not being too precise and I'm being kind of messy. You don't necessarily want to look like, Instagram glam contoured. This is a demon. And I'm also going to contour my temples as well as my jawline. Then I'm going to use these little cream colors that I just picked up from Walmart. They're super cheap and they're actually pretty decent quality. And first I'm going to take the yellow. Then I'm taking a beauty oil and just mixing that in to make it a little bit more liquidy and translucent. And back in with that wedge sponge and doing the exact same thing that I did with that brown eyeshadow. Just randomly dabbing it all over my face, my neck, and my chest. Having the sponge cut out in this texture just helps so much and it's such a great effect and I love the look that it gives. I'm also taking that shade and dotting it under my eyes so my eyes look very tired and sunken in. Then I'm going to take the bruise color from those cream color things and doing the exact same thing, scooping it out and adding oil and applying it in the exact same way that we applied everything else. Like I said before, with these colors, some spots I'm being more heavy-handed, some spots I'm being less heavy-handed just to have more texture and make it appear kind of like veins. I'm taking that bruise shade and tapping it under my eyes as well, again to make my eyes look sick and sunken in. Then back in with that white cream paint and a stippling brush. And I'm just using this to go over my chest a bit more because I thought it needed to look a bit more white. And if you notice my chest getting super red, it's because my chest is like really sensitive. I have super sensitive skin. So it kind of just gets super irritated throughout the video and gets really red. Now I'm taking this super cheap water activated face paint palette that I got from Walmart, and I'm going to use a mixture of pretty much all the shades except for the white and brown. You just put water in with these and they become kind of translucent. And I'm using a bunch of the shades to create veining all over my face. Some veins I'm making more blue, some more purple, some green, some black. I just wanted this to look like really creepy, and using water activated paints make doing veining super easy because you can just tap over them with more water or just your finger and they'll become more translucent and look like they're under the skin, more so than sitting on top of the skin. And I'm just doing this all over my whole entire face, my neck, and my chest. I'm also adding some veins to my eyelids, and I'm basically just following the natural veins in my eyelids, just making them look more intense. And here I am adding the ones to my chest, and you can really see how irritated my chest has gotten throughout the video. And then tapping over them with my sponge to make them appear a little bit more under the skin. Then going back in with that brown inklot eyeshadow, and I'm using that to just accentuate the bags under my eyes and make my skin look a bit irritated. And then I'm taking that red water activated paint from that palette and lightly, very lightly applying that in the same spots just to add a little bit more irritation. And I'm tapping that out a little bit with my finger. Then back in with that bruise shade, and I'm using that to apply. And I'm also applying that around my nostrils so they look irritated. And I'm kind of just smudging this all over my mouth area pretty much. I know I'm kind of skipping all around, but now I'm going back in with that white cream paint and highlighting, trying to make my bags under my eyes appear a bit more puffy. Then adding that bruise shade all over my eyes and a little bit under my lash line. Next, I'm taking a red lip liner and I'm just applying this in my waterline. I don't have an actual red eyeliner, so I just use a lip liner and nothing happened. It worked fine. Then back in with the bruise shade. And just working on the lips a little bit more. I'm kind of like smudging upwards on my cupid's bow a little bit to accentuate it, as well as the corners of my mouth. And I'm keeping a lot of the color concentrated towards the center so it's darker in the center of my lips. And back in with that black water activated paint, I'm using that to darken up some of the veins and add just a little bit more veining to my face. Then I'm taking that stippling brush and the white cream paint again and kind of crinkling my lips up and tapping over them, and it creates this really cool cracked lip effect, and I really like how that looks. Then in with that black water activated paint again and a tiny little brush, and I'm going in and emphasizing some of those cracks as well as making like the inner part of my lip super dark. Now I'm just sticking on these horns that I made out of clay and painted with those water activated paints, and I'm just sticking them on with eyelash glue, and that worked pretty well. They stayed there till I ripped them off. Next, I'm taking some black face powder. This is cheap stuff from Walmart. You can definitely use whatever you have on hand. And I'm using that to contour out my collarbones and like the indentions in my neck. I wanted to do way more on the body, but my skin was just getting so irritated and itchy I couldn't do much. And then back in with the white cream paint and using that to highlight over my bones and any areas that would protrude or stick out. Now to make this demon look a little more creepy and gross, I'm going to be using this Mehron Tooth FX. This is just tooth enamel that you paint on your dry teeth, and it dries and makes your teeth that color, and it just comes off when you brush your teeth. Now, of course, last but not least, I had to add some fake blood. And I'm just dabbing a little bit on the corners of my mouth. And a little bit around my nose. As well as a little bit under my eyes. And that completes this demon look, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss any of my future Halloween videos. Also, I'm going to leave a link to the playlist of all the Halloween makeups I've done in the past, and you guys should check that out as well. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video.